We're back with Ask Chat.
Howdy.
How important is sleep and recovery in your progress, and how do you manage it?
I think it's the most underrated part of fitness. People talk about training, people talk about nutrition, people talk about the hormonal balances and the posing, and I think the sleep and recovery is the most underrated part of it because people are like, oh, well, just sleep more. Just get into bed earlier, just take some melatonin, just get a sleep schedule, and everything's fine. Most people have no clue what it's like to have sleep issues to the extent where you have to be on medication, you have to adjust every part of your life, you have to have a night routine, a morning routine, and it wrecks everything. If your sleep is not on track, you'll screw yourself. And your training, your nutrition, it can be. That's why, like my training nutrition, I track everything because my sleep is so bad and inconsistent. It's consistently inconsistent, and or you could say inconsistently consistent because I get up about every hour or two, and I notice that if I'm able to sleep to the point where I'm not yawning in the morning or whatever, despite getting up every hour or two, I feel pretty good and I recover well. But I also train low volume, high intensity too, so that does play a role because I give my body adequate and ample time and nutrients, and just the volume is the minimal effective dose that my sleep, despite it being inconsistent or just so lackluster, I'm still able to make progress. My numbers are still able to go up. Now, I do have to, one bad night of sleep will make a difference. And something, but two a week, if I have a bad night of sleep twice, I'll probably end up having to deload or take a day off despite only training twice a week because the sleep part of it, that's when your body recovers, it grows, it repairs during that time period. And people underestimate what really happens during sleep. You know, they say get your 7 or 8 hours of sleep. I mean, yeah, if you can get it, but people, that's what they pull from when it comes to time is they pull away from their sleep. Well, I'll work a little later, I'll stay up with the kids, or I'll do this, that, and the other with my wife or my husband, and they don't give themselves enough sleep. That's where you're screwing yourself. It's not about the training, it's not about the nutrition, it's not about bodybuilding. It's about your cognitive ability. Your mindset changes when you don't sleep enough. When you're sleep deprived, your reaction time is off, everything. And the recovery ties into the sleep. You cannot have optimal recovery without good sleep. It will not happen. You don't, it'd be great if they had a drug called liquid sleep. I'd come up with it and I'd sell it and make billions or maybe even trillions off of it because everybody would take it. But it's God given to us to be able to take a third of our life and rest. And I think the more you focus on that, the better your progress will be in every other aspect. You cannot out train, you cannot out nutrition bad sleep. It will never happen. You'll start having aches and pains and injuries. And I believe 100% why my aches and pains and injuries are so bad, or I've had such a hard time recovering from them, is because my sleep is so lackluster. If I didn't have such broken sleep, and I've went to the doctor about it. I'm on this, that, and medication to help me relax. When you're ADHD and just your mind's going a mile a minute and you're having to slow down to talk, your mind doesn't slow down too. So it really messes with you at night. But consistency does help. A night routine. I've done videos on this. Being able to not have stimulants, as minimal stimulants throughout the day, don't eating so late. All these different things play a role, but all of it has to be taken into consideration as just as important as the training and the nutrition. Now you ask me, what do I do for it to adjust it?
Manage it.
Manage it. Uh, Keep my room cool. Try to not have any lights on. I sleep with a sleep mask. When it gets about morning time, I don't have my phone in my bedroom. I don't have my phone on at night. I keep a notebook in my bedroom, in my bathroom to write down notes if something's on my mind. I start getting ready for bed about 30 minutes beforehand. I try to relax my mind, and then in the morning I have a morning routine, so I know what to look forward to in the morning. So it's kind of sandwiched between a morning and night routine. Can everybody do this? Yeah, if you really cared enough, 30 minutes, 15, 30 minutes is all you need to prepare both ways. Sleep hygiene is a big deal. How you sleep. I'm a stomach side sleeper, but I'm teaching myself to slowly sleep on my back. It's not easy. I have to sleep with a pillow. I have to sleep. It's hard for me to sleep with somebody else. Like all these different things play a role. You have to find out what works for you, but you got to also do it. You can't be hard-headed. You can't be on your phone right before bed. Reading does help with a low light. That can help. I like having the radio on really lightly so I can have something to listen to at night so I won't be thinking through my mind. Just this week, I think, about a week ago, the power went out. And so I'm sitting there with no radio on, no way to look around besides I had a flashlight to get through my house. And it was so hard for me to go to sleep. It took me a long time to go to sleep. But once the power came back on, it was off, I don't know, maybe a few hours. I'm not really 100% sure. But it was about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. The lights came back on. I was able to go back to sleep. I took a melatonin, went back to sleep, helped me to fall back asleep. But just that difference to my sleep, it rocked me. And so you've got to find consistency, but you got to be willing to do it. You can't blame nobody else why your sleep is bad. If you choose to work specific hours and do this activity and be on this and eat that and act a specific way, it isn't nobody's fault but your own. Get it taken care of. It's not easy. I will sit here and agree with you. But you managing your sleep is the most important thing for your training, for your progress. If your training is on track and your nutrition is on track. Now they can be not optimal, and the sleep can be still cover some of that basis as far as being able to make progress, but your diet has to be on track as far as managing your weight. Like there's no other way around that. But if you really want optimal progress, all three have to be covered. It has to be like this tripod. Sleep, recovery, same thing. Nutrition, training. There are three legs to optimal progress in fitness and in life. If you don't cover those things, you're not going to make progress. If you do, it's very short term and it's going to come with some consequences.